And one of the things I'm most excited about that I've actually experienced in your tool through Virtual Sapiens is the ability for AI to simulate high stakes situations. So let's say that you are giving a presentation and you really need to practice the feeling of having all eyes on you. And that's really hard to do when you're standing in your living room, practicing this with your spouse or a friend. AI has that amazing ability to be, as you say in Virtual Sapiens, a mirror for you to cognitively and physically step into that space of, I am on, I am under the spotlight. And then because you're practicing, your habits come out. Your body language will do what you normally do under pressure. And that's a really rich space to work with in private coaching. So I see AI as this kind of incredibly powerful additive tool, do kind of that cognitive behavioral work of what does it feel like being in the spotlight.
And how do you, where do you sit on the spectrum of, as a coach, leveraging AI as you said, an additive tool versus, having the AI kind of encroach on what you would do as a coach? How do you, where do you sit with that?
I sit, I think, right in a balance with it, where I see all of the incredible benefits of practicing on your own and getting feedback that's very concrete and really analytical. I have a lot of clients that are in the technology space and the finance space, which is a very analytical industry. And so I think having a concrete breakdown is really helpful. And then I would offer kind of our worlds bridge in this great spot because the mindset component comes in working one-on-one with the coach. And so I see the AI as this powerful reinforcement that can enhance a deeper conversation and deeper training that's highly specific with individual coaching.
Yeah. And that's what we really work hard to, that balance, as you said, we really work hard to strike it at Virtual Sapiens, because there are things that the AI can do that human coaches can't do, like the scalable nature of feedback that we're able to provide through our AI, the on-demand self-serve quality, right? That's right. As amazing as it would be to just have someone like you on call anytime I want to get some feedback, that would be really hard for you and also probably pretty expensive for the individual in question, right? So, but what we can't replace is that level of contextual, personalized nuance based on what's happening in that exact moment, or finding little idiosyncrasies in people's behaviors that might not be as obvious to a trained AI, right?
And sometimes AI kind of raises the flag, and then working through that flag could maybe be a little bit of a journey of saying, okay, that behavior that I've been exhibiting, oh wow, I realize with my coach that it goes back into patterning that I learned from a different work environment that I've been conditioned to, maybe from my family or my upbringing. And so I see this balance as being, so useful for people, and the authenticity element can only be refined with a coach.
It's the tool can be reflective, like a mirror, right? And the tool actually can also, in some cases, better than humans, actually just reflect back all of the behaviors that you did, right? Just be this is what you did, and the AI can prove it, and with screenshots, or you look back through the video recording and you're oh my God, I did do that.
You can almost kind of there's an objective lens that's telling you. And I think there's something really accessible about that. It's always hard to get feedback, and especially when it's something so personal about communication. And I can imagine with the Virtual Sapien AI, there's an element of detachment and neutrality to it. It must be human.
I was concerned about that actually when we first launched. I was people going to literally hate getting feedback from this AI? But we found that if you present the feedback in a specific way and you always go back to the behavioral metrics that led to that score or whatever, people do find that it's a little bit easier to receive the feedback from an AI. They feel less judged because they're oh, it's just something that I did. It's not it's not like I'm feeling this judgment from this human coach nitpicking my behaviors, and that's been a helpful surprise, I think, because then, as you said, the AI can report out on the behaviors, and then it's in the interpretation of that feedback that you get to make the decision in terms of how you're going to move forward, right? Like, and the way that one person might integrate the feedback could be very different from how another person integrates the feedback.
And you know, Rachel, the same principle absolutely works for individual coaching. There may be things that I will offer, exercises that we'll do, and I really appreciate when someone adapts it to themselves and say, you know, I tried this and it didn't feel quite as authentic, but I realized that from trying this, it opened the door to something else. And this is what resonates with me. And so I love that because I'm really co-creating people's speaking style. It's absolutely not me saying, you know, X, Y, and Z, this is the path. We are doing this in a co-creating way.